welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are dealing with a short story, Yellow Brick Road by Witi Ihimaera. Coming to the contents of this video, first of all, we'll be seeing a few major points about this work, then an introduction to the author, then we'll be looking at the summary and later analyzing the themes and the symbols. And by the end of this video, you will be having a very clear understanding what this short story is, who its major characters are, what the plot is, also about its themes, its symbols, its author, as well as the underlying nuances of racial discrimination, prejudice, transition from rural life to urban life, and such things. So let's get into the video. And there is a reminder, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, like, share and support. So coming to our video, Yellow Brick Road, it's a short story written by Witi Ihimaera. It was published in 1977 as part of a collection, The New Net Goes Fishing. You can see the cover page of the collection to the right. Now, these are three important points: the author, the date, as well as the collection. The story. Now, we should also know what the story is. The story follows a Maori family's journey from a rural town to Wellington, the capital, and they are moving in search of new opportunities. The story is seen as a narrative about migration and a search for better life. Now, that is a small introduction to the work. Now we'll see a short introduction to the author. Witi Ihimaera is a New Zealand author. He decided to become a writer because as a teenager he realized that the Maori people were often mischaracterized or even ignored in literature, and so he started writing. Coming to his works, Paunamu Paunamu was his first collection. Then came Tangi, and his other major works include The Whale Rider, The Matriarch, etc. He has also received awards like the Prime Minister's Award for Literary Achievement. We can see his picture to the left. Now we can go into summary of the short story. The story begins with the major protagonist Matthew. He is a young Maori boy and his family, which includes his mother, his father and his sister Roha. We also see other characters like Uncle Sam, his mother's brother, and Uncle Jim, his father's brother. And there are also minor characters like Hone, Hemi, and his teacher, Miss Wright. Now, Matthew, his father, his mother, and his sister, they have packed their car and they are setting off from their home in Waitukhi near Gisborne, and they are headed to Wellington, their capital. They are going there to visit Uncle Jim, his father's brother, who is settled in Wellington, and they are in search of new opportunities or a better life for that matter. The atmosphere inside the car is warm and noisy. They have tightly packed all their belongings, and the mother, her name is Hine, she is fussing over the children. The dad is driving steadily, and the sister Roha, she is a bit depressed on leaving her friends. Now, as the road stretches ahead, Matthew imagines at this road is a yellow brick road, like the Yellow Brick Road in Wizard of Oz. It's a book gifted by his teacher, Miss Wright, to him, and in his mind, the Wellington is an emerald city full of promises, and it's a bright, lit, big street, and it has many far more possibilities than a small rural world. So Matthew is actually pretty much happy to get there. But along their way, they encounter various incidences that actually reveal the underlying racial prejudices from some Pakeha. They call it like that. They are the white New Zealanders, and Matthew begins to realize that the urban life may not hold may hold the challenges and the discrimination along with its promises. A few of the incidents are: they run out of petrol and they watch cars pass without stopping when the father and the son, they are walking long miles to get petrol, and they also face breakdown of the vehicle, and they endure open hostility when Matthew dashes into the road to retrieve his book and the white driver swears at him. For Matthew, the road ahead feels like the yellow brick road from the Wizard of Oz, symbolizing the promises of the city. But these incidents reveal that the journey is filled with prejudice, uncertainty, and the challenges of leaving the familiar rural setting behind. They have to endure these to get new opportunities. They have to endure these prejudices, these racial discriminations. Now, there is also an incident where a shopkeeper challenges their knowledge of the prices because he asks more money for some sweets. Matthew, being a child, he also notices that people stare at them out of suspicion maybe. And such instances make this child feel a bit insecure of getting into Wellington. Or but finally the skyline of Wellington appears, and the hills are there, the harbors are there, the cluster of buildings rise before them. Matthew feels a rush of excitement but also an unspoken nervousness because he has endured all these troubles in between the journey. And the yellow brick road has finally brought them to the city, but it's not the end. It's just a beginning of a new uncertain chapter for her. So that's the summary, plot summary of that story. Now we can analyze the themes. Cultural identity and belonging is one. The story explores this tension between the Maori heritage and the Pakeha. Pakeha is the New Zealanders, and how migration and urbanization is challenging one's sense of cultural roots, so that cultural identity and belonging becomes an important theme. Now even urban life versus rural life is a theme, and generational differences are also one another theme, because the, the gap in the perspectives of these people can be seen. What they mean by success or what's lifestyle to them can be, there is a difference between it. And even racism and prejudice is another important theme. Dreams and aspirations are also important themes, because the yellow brick road symbolizes a pursuit of better opportunities, similar to the Wizard of Oz, but there is realistic challenges in this journey as well. Now family unity and resilience can be seen throughout, because they are traveling in that small car, but their family's bonding helps them face all these challenges, because they talk to each other, they solve each other's problems, and they move on. And disillusionment is another, because this story is actually questioning whether the dream associated with the city is truly matching the reality, because all they have seen is prejudices. And taking the Matthew into consideration, his aspirations can be met with disappointment, and that is seen when only Matthew gets much excited. Only he is the one who is happy, because others are getting a reality check. They know the harsh realities of the city and maybe what they may have to encounter. Now, coming to the symbols, yellow brick road symbolizes a journey towards dreams and better opportunities, like the Wizard of Oz. The car represents mobility and also transition from rural to urban life, and progress, the fragile nature of their aspirations and all that, because the car is breaking down. And now this breaking down also represents a symbol, because it is symbolizing the obstacles, the societal barriers, and all the lack of resources possessed by a Maori family. Now the book Matthew saves, it represents the cultural pride, the heritage, and the preservation of identity, because Matthew is saving the book at the cost of his life, because are the three important on Matthew now. And coming to the city Wellington, it's another symbol, because it symbolizes both hope for new life as well as the reality of alienation and prejudice. Now these are the important symbols, and if you like the video, if you understood it, do like and share it to your friends and subscribe as well. And if you have any doubts, do comment, and which lesson should I take next, also comment that. Thank you.